what are your thoughts about the theme as relevant to your work?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the theme for the Asia regional knowledge sharing meeting is very relevant and highly timely in terms of the context that we are currently operating in. I mean, if I really go back to the Bangladesh context, where in fact lots of work that we are doing on development, and it's all now linked with this large scale emergency that really is due to Rohingya, but also in Bangladesh we do face regular emergencies. The part of the country where Nobo Jatra is being implemented is prone to annual flooding, as well as the cyclones like twice a year this season. Like, so we haven't had, fortunately, haven't had a big cyclone in the recent past in the last 2-3 years, but every year there are some intensity of cyclones that really do have local level damage to the properties, as well as in some cases some not necessarily the loss of human life, but then some injuries and all that really people experience. So given that context, the theme of this particular the knowledge sharing meeting is highly relevant, and also given the one of the key learnings that I am really seeing, that with the increasing emphasis of USAID now on enhancing the resilience of the communities, as well as with this change, that they are not change, but then it's just the kind of a shift in the direction where we are talking about more on journey to the self-reliance, is really is an interesting, really, again, the nexus that we are seeing as to how really it all links from the emergency to really to the as you try and help the communities really to move into the recovery phase, and then really being self-reliant, and then that really eventually helping the governments really to play a bigger role, was one of the really interesting aspect. I think in terms of also the takeaways that I am really from the meeting itself, one is really obviously there's a lots of interesting things happening in different related countries, so we really don't have to reinvent the wheel. We need to reach out to our colleagues, and learn from each other. So this particular event did help us really in developing that network. I really knew already quite a number of friends and colleagues in working in different contexts, but then haven't really had the opportunity to really learn about their work. And in fact, even in the context of Bangladesh, where we are really three DIFSAs being implemented, although we really coordinate and collaborate quite closely, we haven't necessarily had an opportunity to do this kind of knowledge sharing, which is so holistic. So that really has been, again, very helpful and useful in terms of really trying to see that, okay, if there are things that we are doing that Walter can come and learn, or Shahad team can come and learn from us, or there are a few things that Sapling is doing, so that I can send some of my technical team members to go and learn from them.
Moving forward, just listening to the plenaries, are there any, we have the donors here, the main donor, USAID, the implementers, the programs, some academia. Is there another stakeholder, I guess, that you think should be invited there?
Yeah, I think like in some of these cases, it's really, what we talk about is when we are talking about a journey to, self-reliance, and we really, work around many of those issues. I think it would also be useful to have some selective senior government official also be part of these deliberations. Yeah, I mean the ones that at least who are engaged with us closely, and they are working on the issues that we really are trying to address, and on all that. Just in passing, like yesterday we had this big Rohingya response presentation. I mean, this was okay for the donors and really to sensitize, but then there was nobody from the government really to even listen to what exactly the concerns of the humanitarian community is. So what are we talking about? What really should and could be done differently? So now I don't know how that message is going to be conveyed to them. So like we are talking in isolation, we are talking about the stakeholder who really is the one who is the decision maker when we're talking about those moving people to the island, or really also some of the the where these people are currently placed. Those are all disaster prone areas and others. So I think so my point again is that really having some senior government official can really add value to it.